gotten?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point I'm pretty used to it, and I always tell people, like, I wouldn't want it any other way. Like, I'm happy to do media before every single game, especially when we're on the road, and there's a lot of people that maybe this is their first time getting to see us play, or all of you maybe the first time. Obviously, it's my first time in San Francisco, so I try to look at it in the best possible manner that I can, and it's still fun for me, and there's a lot of people that would want to be in my.
To understand the real impact of that $100,000 donation, you have to look beyond the headline number and examine how the money is being used. Through the Hy-Vee Crunch Time partnership, proceeds from product sales are funneled directly back into communities across Iowa and Indiana. This isn't abstract philanthropy. It's localized, intentional, and measurable. The Caitlin Clark Foundation focuses on 3 interconnected pillars: education, nutrition, and access to sports. Each one addresses a fundamental barrier that prevents young people from reaching their potential. And what truly sets this foundation apart is Clark's level of personal involvement. This isn't a situation where a name is attached to a foundation while agents and executives make all the decisions. Clark actively participates in choosing which organizations receive grants. She shows up when her schedule allows. She stays engaged even during the most demanding stretch of her rookie season. In its first year alone, the foundation distributed nearly $500,000 to food banks. That's not symbolic giving, that's operational support. Additionally, over $22,000 worth of books and backpacks were delivered directly to students who needed them. These aren't flashy gestures. They're practical solutions to real problems. What makes this even more impressive is the timing. All of this happened during Clark's rookie season, a year when she was adjusting to the physical demands of the WNBA, managing unprecedented media attention, and playing more games than ever before. Most players would be overwhelmed. Clark expanded her responsibilities. This level of output in year one speaks to preparation and purpose. The foundation didn't feel rushed or improvised. It felt ready because it was. Clark didn't wait until things slowed down. She built while everything was moving at full speed. That's the difference between charity as an accessory and charity as a mission. And it's why the foundation's early success feels sustainable rather than temporary.
For you guys too. Shout out to Caitlin Clark off season for finding this out. It says through a $100,000 donation connected to Caitlin Clark Church Time, Hy-Vee is helping advance the mission of the Caitlin Clark Foundation across education, nutrition, and sports. As you guys can see here, this is a $100,000 check for look like kids. You know what I'm saying? It only had 9 comments, which was crazy to me. Well, let's check out this. This is some of the article. It says Caitlin Clark Foundation, another moment of gratitude.
This is the side of Caitlin Clark that doesn't get nearly enough attention. While most conversations revolve around her deep logo threes, no-look passes, and record-breaking performances, there's a much quieter story unfolding off the court, one that may ultimately have a longer-lasting impact than anything she does between the lines. The Caitlin Clark Foundation recently committed $100,000 through a partnership with Hy-Vee, and this wasn't a random donation or a headline-chasing moment. It was part of a carefully planned, long-term philanthropic strategy that Clark has been building since before she ever played a WNBA game. This isn't charity as branding. This is charity as infrastructure. What separates Clark from many athletes at similar stages in their careers is intent. Most rookies are focused entirely on survival, earning minutes, adjusting to the pace, handling media pressure. Clark is doing all of that while simultaneously laying the groundwork for a foundation designed to address real, measurable problems. And the scope of that work is already substantial. The numbers alone tell a powerful story. In less than a year, the foundation has directed hundreds of thousands of dollars into communities across Iowa and Indiana. That level of impact is rare for a player still on a rookie contract. It's even rarer for someone navigating the most scrutinized first season in women's basketball history. What's remarkable is that this didn't happen after she made it. Clark didn't wait for championships, MVPs, or decade-long security. She began this work immediately, understanding that her platform had value from day one. And instead of dispersing funds broadly for visibility, she targeted specific needs with precision. This approach signals something important. Clark isn't thinking in short-term cycles or endorsement timelines. She's thinking in systems. She's thinking about what lasts after the highlights fade and the jerseys are retired. And that mindset applied this early is what makes her off-court legacy potentially as influential as her on-court one.
This is just the beginning, guys. These are just some of the things. Now, I reported on this a couple months ago. This was in May. So this was $300,000 to Feeding America. It's Caitlin Clark Foundation, bro. Come on now. People can say what they want about this young lady, but, you know, when it comes to her charitable work, second to none. The Caitlin Clark Foundation grants $22,000 to the University of Iowa Children's Hospital, Coralville Community Food Pantry, Boys and Girls Clubs, and Special Olympics in Iowa, East Central. Caitlin Clark Foundation is giving $22,000 grants to.
Then there's the basketball component, arguably the most personal part of Clark's mission. During her rookie season, while averaging heavy minutes and leading the league in assists, her foundation funded the construction of brand new basketball courts for schools in the Des Moines area. Not upgrades, not cosmetic fixes, entirely new courts. That decision reflects a deep understanding of access. Inspiration alone doesn't develop talent. Opportunity does. You can't ask kids to fall in love with the game if they don't have a safe place to play it. Clark's Foundation doesn't treat sports access as a luxury. It treats it as a necessity. And that philosophy extends into its approach to nutrition. The foundation partners with local organizations that understand their communities, know which families need support, and can distribute resources without stigma. The language in the mission statement is intentional. Kids can't learn when they're hungry. They can't train, focus, or grow when basic needs aren't met. Clark's Foundation doesn't just acknowledge that, it builds around it. Rather than creating parallel systems, the foundation strengthens existing ones. It works with organizations already embedded in their neighborhoods. That's how you maximize impact without wasting resources. This isn't charity driven by ego. It's charity driven by understanding. Clark recognizes that her success didn't happen in isolation. It was built on access to gyms, coaches, nutrition, and education. Her foundation exists to extend that access to others.
I remember when this happened. It says Caitlin Clark helps four Des Moines, Iowa schools get new basketball courts. This was her rookie year when she did this. Look, Caitlin Clark Foundation on the court. These are just big-time deals that this young lady does. Very, very powerful.
One of the most telling moments came in May of Clark's rookie season, when her foundation made a $300,000 donation to Feeding America. Consider the context. She was in the middle of her first professional season, facing nightly physical battles, adapting to elite defenders, and navigating constant national attention. And yet, she coordinated one of the largest single donations tied to a WNBA rookie. That same month, the foundation distributed $22,000 across multiple organizations, including the University of Iowa Children's Hospital, the Coralville Community Food Pantry, Boys and Girls Clubs, and Special Olympics Iowa East Central. This wasn't a single symbolic gift. It was a network of targeted support. Many veteran professional athletes don't assemble a charitable portfolio this extensive even after a decade in the league. Clark accomplished it before her first season ended, and the size of the grants mattered. For local organizations, $22,000 isn't pocket change. It's transformative. It funds months of operations. It keeps programs running. It feeds families. These weren't donations designed to look good on paper. They were designed to solve immediate problems. Food insecurity doesn't wait for off-season schedules. Hospital programs don't pause because a player is busy. Clark understood that urgency and responded accordingly. What stands out is that none of this felt performative. There was no campaign built around her generosity. No attempt to dominate headlines with philanthropy. The work happened quietly, efficiently, and consistently. That consistency is what separates impact from intention. Clark didn't just care, she followed through. And she did it while carrying one of the heaviest on-court workloads in the league.
It says January 1st, Instagram 2026. Wow. It says WNBA Instagram followers on January 6th. Indiana Fever currently is almost at 1 million. The Aces at 600,000. Chicago Sky 500. Los Angeles Sports 4. The New York Liberty 4. Now, New York Liberty is one of the highest grossing franchise. Dallas Wings only at 300,000. They got Paige Beckers. Golden State Valkyries, which I thought they'll have way more. They had 280. Atlanta Dream 277. Minnesota Lynx 250. Seattle Storm 250. Phoenix Mercury 240. Washington Mystics 180. And the Connecticut Sun sitting at 127,000. Indiana Fever.
Now consider the amplification effect. As of January 6, 2026, the Indiana Fever sit just under 1 million Instagram followers. Compare that to the rest of the league. Las Vegas Aces at 600,000, Chicago Sky at 500,000, New York Liberty at 400,000, Dallas Wings at 300,000, Golden State Valkyries at 280,000, and the Connecticut Sun at just 127,000. This disparity isn't accidental. It's directly tied to Caitlin Clark's presence. And that reach has real consequences beyond basketball. When Clark posts about her foundation, nearly 1 million people see it instantly. When a new partnership or donation is announced, it reaches an audience most teams, and even most charities, could never access on their own. That visibility matters. It raises awareness, inspires action, encourages other players, fans, and organizations to engage with their own communities. Clark's platform doesn't just spotlight her, it multiplies impact. This is how influence becomes legacy. Not through noise, but through reach combined with purpose. Clark isn't just changing how women's basketball is watched. He's changing how it can be used as a force for measurable, lasting good. If you want, I can make this more cinematic. Convert it into a YouTube voiceover script. Add a strong hook-style intro. Tighten it for viral short-form clips. Just tell me what you want next.